A couple of months ago, in one of the preview videos or something, we took a look at an interesting Q&A from the Minecraft devs themselves. Well, besties, unexpectedly, they were back at it again right after I got off stream yesterday. And oh boy, this one's spicy. It's all about the future, meaning like potentially next month, and what might be coming soon. Even though this all went down in the Bedrock add-on Discord, this Q&A is not only about Minecraft Bedrock Edition, this is kind of about everything. All thanks to this brand new Q&A, we know a little bit more about what the devs plan on experimenting and working on, and what they don't plan on working on over the next couple of months. So our journey today, it sort of begins with all of these recent big Bedrock Edition jigsaw block upgrades. Taking us back only a couple of weeks, in Minecraft Preview 1.21.50.26, I believe, a gigantic thing went down when it comes to the structure block. So essentially, what this all means is over on Minecraft Bedrock Edition, inside of the preview, when I go to create a brand new world, inside of experiment, scroll all the way down, and I'll find a brand new experimental toggle. Bedrock is great about explaining some of these experimental features. So this toggle, it will load jigsaw structures from the behavior pack world gen folder. You see, the jigsaw block, when it was added to Minecraft Bedrock Edition in whatever year it was added, well, it was never basically as good as the Java one. It was like the underachieving, less loved sibling. But recently, the jigsaw block got a whole lot better, and that leads us to the Q&A. So over at the official Bedrock add-ons Discord, literally the same day that I'm making this video, one day before the day that you're watching this video, if you end up watching it on the day that I end up dropping it, we have a gigantic Q&A with tons and tons of spicy questions, answers, and information. I've gone through this whole Q&A, picked out the spiciest bits, and organized them into, well, organized sections. We'll kick things off with a banger. Why did jigsaws take so long? So we've had the jigsaw block in the game since, like I said, a long time, but why was it never really as good? The answer with this one kind of starts to get into a bit of how Mojang basically used to do things. Let's say we had something on one version of the game, say the jigsaw block on Java Edition, Bedrock didn't have it, but Bedrock needed it. Well, the devs, not really worrying too much about long-term functionality, feature polish, or even parity. Well, in the past, the devs would basically just worry about trying to get something into the game in at least a partially working form, and worry about all the other finer details a little bit later on. So that's why they were so janky on Bedrock, but still, why did they take so long? We have a backlog of capabilities that we work towards to get to add to the platform for the people to use. Right now, we are working through some elemental world gen stuff. But before they can bring out these capabilities, a couple of other ducks need to get in a row. And bingo, that brings us to the jigsaw block. Before they could work on elemental world gen, whatever the heck that means, I have no clue at all. Well, before they could do all of that, they need to work on improving the structure block, and then the jigsaw block, you can't forget about it. That's why they ended up finally making the jigsaw block a little bit smarter, a little bit stronger, and a little bit more beautiful. Biomes. A Minecraft world is made up of them. In fact, the latest Minecraft update, the creaking update, whatever the heck we're gonna end up calling that thing, it's all about a specific biome. Now, because this is from the Bedrock add-ons Q&A, this is going to relate to the marketplace at least a little bit. Long story short here, if you're familiar with the marketplace, then you know add-ons were rolled out earlier this year. Well, if you're familiar with add-ons, then you would know that add-ons can only do certain things. One of those things that add-ons currently cannot do is custom biomes and custom structures. If we want to do things like that, well, then how I've seen a couple of different add-ons pull this off in game technical side is you have a block that you place down, you go into that block and interact with it, maybe like, say, put some payment in there, press go, and then all of a sudden a brand new structure is generated. The marketplace does have support for custom generation and structures and things, but basically that becomes something called a dynamic world instead, and not just a simple add-on. Our next part here that'll tell us a little bit about what the devs are planning on working on, at least in the short term, has to do with custom biomes across dimensions. So the question specifically here was, paraphrasing a little bit, do you have any plans to implement custom biome support across the different dimensions? AKA the Nether, and probably a little bit more excitingly, the End. And look, I don't want to say it, but somebody does. Unfortunately, there is no current roadmap for custom biomes inside of the End or the Nether. The client biome setting in resource packs can be modified to maybe give you a little bit of a different vibe, but unfortunately for world generation and custom biomes and stuff, that is not currently on the roadmap. And while we're at it, directly related to custom biomes, how about some custom environment particles inside of those custom biomes? Custom particles inside of different biomes. Think the Basalt Deltas biome. As soon as you move into this place, you get these like really cool dusty, ashy particles. Whatever the heck they are, they like float through the air. As soon as you leave the biome, well, the ashy, dusty particles, they go away, or they basically just stay inside of that biome. Well, custom environment particles are something that the devs have taken a look at in the past and are something that they would consider. I always think things like this, even though they say don't necessarily directly relate to a vanilla update, but while in the context of a Q&A from the developers, I always think it's quite interesting because, say, if we had an update that was maybe going to focus on maybe different ambiance and improving maybe the vibes of different biomes, well, particle effects would probably come into play big time. And though it is something that they have definitely considered, because it's not, say, on their short-term roadmap, like some other interesting things that we'll talk about a little bit later on, I would say that some kind of particle and ambiance update, maybe it's not the next update that will come to the game. Still on this whole custom wave, the ability to introduce new dimensions. Will something like, say, the Skibidi Toilet add-on be able to introduce a custom dimension anytime soon? We definitely see the custom dimensions are important for creators, but they're working on actually improving elements of world gen first. In the immediate term, we're working on improving jigsaw structures and more capabilities, eventually working up towards biome customization. After that, maybe dimensions. And next up, what's coming to the game next? So real quick, I would like to say though, if you guys like the idea of me making more videos on these interesting dev Q&As, well then tap like, and not only does it help me out YouTube side, but it helps me out idea side too. Also, don't forget to subscribe. A place feature, I swear, we were just talking about this in like last week's video. You can go ahead and check it out. Maybe like 2 weeks ago, I don't know, relatively recently. Will there be an option to place features with commands in the future? This is our short-term roadmap. Oh my gosh, this is beautiful. So in one of the other videos, pretty sure it was this one where we were talking about the structure update on the way to the game. Wow, we were taking a look at the place command. The place command on Minecraft Bedrock Edition is nowhere near as strong. Place feature, this thing is crazy. Using the place feature command, basically I can place different parts of world generation down. Some things, like let's say a desert well, they will have specific requirements, and surprise, surprise, you would think this is a structure. Well, no, it's actually a world feature. Considering the fact that this is on their short-term roadmap, oh boy, I wonder if that means by the end of the year. An improved place feature command for Minecraft Bedrock Edition would not only allow Bedrock creators, players, whatever, to be able to mess with like the various individual features a little bit more, but this could also be potentially gigantic for adding even more features to both versions of the game sometime soon. Maybe more features faster, sooner. Oh, but just you wait, because there's something even larger. This is going to be revolutionary for Minecraft farms on its way soon. Alright, so this next part of the video, this is real juicy, real exciting. Spawn spots and custom structures is a question all about how it's like. Say, for example, the Nether Fortress where there are custom mobs, maybe the Ocean Monument. This is all about how with jigsaw blocks becoming more usable and we're able to place entities and structures, is there a plan to add spawn spot support to the world generation framework? And the answer right here might be the juiciest answer out of all of the ones today. This is currently in the works, though mob spawn system is slightly delicate. We want to make sure we do everything in our power to smooth out the edges, so that means more testing. Look forward to more stuff coming out in experimental soon. Then the follow-up question, does that mean spawn rates could be in parity with Java 2? The answer, that is the goal. Once we get into experimental sometime soon, we'll definitely need all of the help that we can get to make sure the world still seems balanced and spawning isn't off. That includes impacts on farms. Oh my gosh, if you guys have watched the guide episodes ever, this mob spawning chart is very familiar to you. The mob spawning chart, of course, is all about how mob spawning works on Minecraft Java. The mob spawning on Minecraft Java, in my opinion, is a little bit superior and way more predictable. For example, if I'm standing here, well, basically a hostile mob, or a mob spawn in general, it's not going to happen within, say, 24 blocks of me. Anywhere outside of those 24 blocks, though, within like 128 blocks, well, that's a valid spawning space. AKA, say, for my super creeper farm, AKA super creeper farm, you can tell that this is definitely a highly efficient working creeper farm. That's fine. Well, essentially, because mob spawning is so predictable, all I would need to do is basically move, say, a certain amount of blocks above this sign. More so maybe above the underground. I could get like 100 or so blocks away from that sign, and a mob spawning would be focused inside of my super duper creeper farm and not under the ground. This makes mob farming, at least on Minecraft Java Edition, very controllable, very understandable, and decently efficient as well. If you know how to work all the mechanics, super efficient. They're working on mob spawning on Minecraft Bedrock Edition. This is crazy. A follow-up question that actually surprisingly gives us a little bit more context. So this is about missing jigsaw features. Will they be added? So you go ahead and pause the video, read this whole question and the answer if you want. The part that we really care about, the juice here, is in this final answer. Yup, with all refractors, we've got to start with the base system first. We are getting close to getting the mob spawn system at parity with Java. And this is all like seemingly taking place behind the scenes because we knew nothing about this, say, even a week ago, at least publicly. So not only is Mojang about to roll out a brand new mob spawning experimental feature for Minecraft Bedrock Edition, maybe in preview, who knows, the next update, 1.21.60, seemingly it's already at a spot where it's almost in parity. This kind of almost reminds me of how Minecraft for PS5, they put it into preview and said, hey, it's going to release in full once it's in like a high quality state, and when it released in preview, it was already super smooth and really good feeling. This is insane, and this is so exciting. Whew. Now from that crazy one, we've got to move on to the next one. This is real quick compared to that one. Option to update into new world generation. Now, the question here is basically about how updates work in Minecraft, and if you think about this new drop system, this kind of might be a gigantic topic. Say, take my Minecraft guide world, for example. If we're going to have drop updates that happen more frequently, and these drop updates, they're going to be more relevant, and these drop updates, kind of like, say, the creaking update, well, they're going to add new things to your world that you're going to want to go out into it and find. And let's say within the vanilla game, we're not talking about, like, clearing chunks or anything like that. Well, you've already gone ahead and explored everything. Well, how do you actually get the new features then? The point of the question here is, will there be an option that'll detect empty chunks to be updated with new structures? The answer, we've considered this, but making it work has a lot of odd side effects. But we are curious, so they're thinking about maybe somehow making it so your world could update even though you've already loaded in the chunk. This makes me wonder how this would actually be done. Like, I have no clue. Is this a brand new, say, maybe a survival Minecraft block that you would be able to, like, activate and it would reset a chunk? Because that feels really weird. Maybe it's just a different tool built into the game where you could, like, say, look at your world and maybe select certain chunks, basically a built into the game chunk deleter. I don't know, but it's all interesting to hear that Mojang is thinking about it. So that's a lot of great things that we've learned from this Q&A that are coming soon, but we've also learned what isn't coming soon too. Minecraft Java Edition, creating a brand new world. Inside of this world menu, tap super flat, tap customize, and you can customize your world like to literally anything that you want in the world. You can make it a void, you can make it a desert, you could go ahead and go up here and add, like, say, maybe 102 layers of whatever block that you want. You can make a truly custom world. With that, on top of that, then we can go ahead and say customize maybe structures, yes or no, bonus chests, whatever. That's the thing on both versions of the game. A custom super flat generator for Minecraft Bedrock. Gosh golly, that's a huge parity difference and would be really cool to see. But unfortunately, it is not currently on the roadmap. However, if they did add it, it would be kind of implemented like how they did hardcore mode, where they port it over and then maybe work on it slowly over time. So let's get a little bit more technical with it. A beautiful command that exists on Minecraft Java Edition that doesn't exist on Bedrock is the fill biome command. Using this command right here, I could change my current biome to literally any other biome, including the void, in the entire game. It's super powerful. And unfortunately, it seems that it's going to be on the distant horizon on Bedrock Edition as well, because there's a lot of other stuff that they have to do first. And then getting crazy technical with the sub-chunks. This is basically a bit more technical with chunks, but long story short, you've got a chunk, which is a 16 by 16 block area, and then within that chunk, you've got sub-chunks. Now, the bases here, the chunks, they're defined on the X and Z axis. The sub-chunk, that's defined on the Y axis. Sub-chunk functionality. Will more of it be coming to Bedrock anytime soon? Nope. So the Q&A. In conclusion right here, we've got a lot of new things that look like they're exciting and coming to the game very soon. However, there is also a long road ahead for what Mojang is working on right now with world generation, biome generation, all that stuff. To me, all this kind of stuff is super interesting. Whether it's for the vanilla game or for creators, I feel like all of this kind of gives us a little bit of a look into what the devs are working on and maybe thinking, even if it is, say, for creators, when it comes to vanilla updates too. We end today with a question. What does the Mojang team look forward to the most? I am so looking forward to the various dungeons, legends, and lores. So much coming, so much to be unlocked. That sounds so cryptic. That sounds so insane. What does this mean? The new recent to World Gen Q&A from the Minecraft devs. What do you make of it? What does that last question mean? You call it down below. Tap that like button, subscribe. On the end card is a video and a playlist. Tap one of them, check them out. It's been me, Waddles. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you very much.